Yeah, I always get like kind of the same questions, but the true answer to all of those questions is we're gonna fight each other. Like we are on the same division, we are too close to each other, and whomever is winning, eventually is gonna fight the top guys in the game. So it's like a mix. You're always gonna have like the tougher opponents in front of you. So it doesn't matter if I'm not fighting Max Holloway or Allen right now or any other guy in the division. I think eventually it will happen. It's just a matter of time, and that's it.
And I have to ask what you thought of Yair Rodriguez's performance. You obviously said you want to drop back down and unify. He pulled off the submission win over Josh Emmett.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But of course, yeah. So it was a good win. Good win by Yair. He looked sharp on his feet. Caught him a couple of times, rocked him a couple of times, and caught him in the triangle. So I was training at that stage, but yeah, good on him. Like I said, I'm not a selfish guy. I'm all about building things up. Now we got a guy, right? There's a guy in 45 that, you know what I mean? There's a guy that deserves that shot, and it's clear. And that's what I wanted, but we'll see what's happening.
Alex, going
so
back
congratulations to you.
Going back
Yair, or is it yeah? I always say yeah.
Yair.
Yair. I thought everyone else was saying it wrong.
At what point do you start, looking at that fight down the road and breaking down how to match up with Alex?
Yeah, I was looking at the fight. I couldn't really see that much of the fight. It was how it was going in between Islam and him, but it was a pretty good fight. As I could see, it's a pretty close fight. Talking about his fight against me, I think he's quick. I think he's explosive, and he has a pretty good wrestling and jiu-jitsu defense. So I think the fight in between him and I will stay standing up. So it will be like more of a striking fight. And everything comes down to who does it better in that day, who does a better strategy, and who's able to maintain the strategy if it's working, and able to adjust if it's not working. And, I can see much about anything, it's just a matter of who does it better that day.
45 defence is next, clearly, and then maybe the rematch with Islam. But if that doesn't line up for the title shot, are you willing to maybe jump into 155 and fight guys like, Dustin Poirier, Charles, Michael Chandler, these types?
Quick turnaround for the rematch for the weekend. Yeah, we'll see, man. Again, I need to watch the fight. I need to talk to some people. And again, right now, I just come out. I'm hard on myself. I don't know. I got to look and see what's happening. So, yeah, we'll see. But obviously, we got, when I go to featherweight, we know who it is, you know what I mean? And again, shout out for Yair Rodriguez. I think that's an exciting fight. So good on him.
Yeah. Tonight was the first time Alex has lost in the UFC, and in over 10 years. When you guys fight, do you think that's going to have a more motivated version of him, or do you think maybe you're catching him at the perfect time now, because maybe, who knows, where his confidence will be at, where his mindset will be at, all those things?
Bro, he's fighting for the 155-pound division against Islam Makhachev. He's not fighting like a nobody. Islam is tough. It's really tough. We have seen the Russian guys fighting in this company. They're super tough. And, he was able to go in there, not only 5 rounds, but demonstrate that he's capable of also winning, because the fight was pretty close. It was 3 rounds to 2. So I think he did a pretty good job. I just think the fight between him and I will be as it has to be. He will be there 100%. I don't see why not. And I'll be there 100% as well. So you guys will have a pretty good fight.
Do you think you'll have to come back here and do the unifier here? Or we had Dave Shaw, the UFC executive, up there. I asked him about maybe doing it in Mexico, and he didn't dismiss it. So would that be your perfect world?
Yeah, that would be perfect. I talked to Alexander Volkanovski in the past in Dallas. No, not that much with them, but with his manager. And he asked me, "Will you be able to go to Australia? Will you go to Australia?" I was like, "Yeah, why not? Yeah, of course I'll go." So I stick to my word, and I came here, won the interim title, and now I want to ask the UFC to take this belt, this championship fight, to Mexico City in September, whenever they opening the UFC Performance Institute, so we can do it there.
I don't know if you saw Alex's walkout tonight and how crazy that was, but is that something you dream of like what that could be like for you in Mexico?
I didn't really see him. You know, I was busy doing the interviews and some pictures and stuff. You know, and I wasn't able to see it, but I'm sure I have no doubt that it was crazy for him. You know, all the people here they're big fans. You know, and they are really supportive of their people, and I'm sure it was crazy for sure.